its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to Ask the Experts radio show, proudly sponsored by board-certified family law attorney Tina Lewert of Lewert Law, LLC. Sit back for the next half hour as host Steve-O interviews top experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Steve-O offers such educational topics as community association law, family law, chiropractic care, employment law, healthcare law, and public insurance adjusting. Interviews by top experts in their field. And now, here's your host, Steve-O.
Good evening. This is the Ask the Expert show. I'm your host, Steve-O. 7 years of Ask the Experts. And for those of you who don't know, we're in 7 other cities. And the gentleman who makes this happen, where you can actually watch our show, Freddie Santori. Him and I have been together for 7 years. Long time. But I love the guy. We fight, but I love the guy. Anyhow, welcome to another Ask the Experts. Tonight, our first show, we're going to be talking about estate planning. And I have got one of the top attorneys in Florida, Natalia Belavaca. I love her name. Stop and see. You didn't know I could see you. I can see you laughing. She told me that. She said, "Are we on video also?" And I said, "Yeah, we're on Facebook and Twitter." And I got to tell you, the funniest part, I can say it now. This woman is beautiful, and she's worried about her looks. And she said, "But I don't look good." You look gorgeous. Your husband is very lucky. But our listeners are even more lucky because we have got a great show planned for you tonight. And let's get started. Natalia, tell us about your firm.
Hi, thanks for having me. If I may, before we start, being that today is Veterans Day, I do want to thank everyone who served to protect the unprecedented freedoms that we enjoy in this amazing country. I'm proud to be a citizen of this country, and I do sincerely thank every single man and woman that served to give us the opportunity to live the way that we live here. So thank you.
Natalia, that means a lot because you're from Russia.
I am from Russia, and my father served in the Russian military.
She has no accent, though, but trust me. Hey, look at her name. No, but that means a lot because you love this country.
I do love this country, and being from somewhere else, you really appreciate how great it is here.
Wow. So tell me about your practice.
So my practice is focused on serving families with their planning needs. 2 things that everyone should plan for. One of them is incapacity, which is basically becoming disabled. And another thing is death, which of course is guaranteed right along with taxes. So considering we will all get there one way or another, it's incredibly important for families to plan so that their families that are left behind are not left with fighting in court or with uncertainty or with unnecessary attorney's fees or just with additional difficulties that nobody needs when they're grieving a loved one.
If you go, like I did, to Natalia's website, and I read everything on your website, you really do care about families. I mean, you honestly care about them. And to be an estate planning attorney, that is so important.
I absolutely love what I do. People come to me and I feel like I can truly help them if they're coming to me with an inheritance issue. And of course, people that are coming to me to do planning, wills or trusts, those are people that really care about their families. And it's great to work with people that are coming to you because they want to do right thing for their loved ones.
So, we take it for granted that everybody knows what estate planning is, but not everybody does know that. So tell everybody what estate planning is and who needs it?
You have a great point in that a lot of times people are unfamiliar with what happens until it's too late, until they call me and they're like, what do I do? So I look at estate planning as preparing for what's going to come. You have to make sure that your assets, meaning your home, your bank account, or whatever else you may have, ends up in the right hands quickly, cheaply, and easily without court involvement. And you have to make sure that your children are taken care of should something happen to you before your children are adults. And to me, estate planning is all about looking out for your family. Make sure that they're all set, regardless if you have almost nothing or nothing, or if you have millions of dollars.
I wonder why so many people think in order to do just a will that you have to be a millionaire, because that's definitely not true.
It's not true, and in my opinion, a will is not even the most important document that you can have, because at the end of the day, with going through courts, your closest family will eventually get what whatever it is that you own during your life. But documents that protect your family in the event of incapacity, to me, those documents are the most important ones. One being, namely, power of attorney. I think that's an incredibly important document to have. It allows another person to step into your shoes, so to say, and act on your behalf in the event that you become incapacitated. And an incapacity can obviously come from all different situations, whether it be an accident, where it just be normal part of aging, such as dementia or Alzheimer's. So someone has to be there to be able to sign legal documents on your behalf. And that's incredibly important, because if that document is not in place, then your family has to go to court, and that's where you incur real expenses.
I think it's more important now than ever before because another way you can become incapacitated is just getting COVID and you're on a breathing machine and you're intubated. You need to have a, someone to speak for you.
I think we've all been sufficiently scared by the media as far as COVID, and I don't want to be the doom and gloom that we're all going to die. But I think COVID did light a fire under a lot of people's butts as far as doing their estate planning, because if COVID shows nothing else, is how quickly your world can turn upside down,
Yes.
and you have no control over what's happening.
What happens if a person dies and they don't have a will?
So if you die without a will, Florida legislature, so Florida government already decided for you what's going to happen with what you have. And what you have could be anything, could be a home, could be a bank account, a car, investments, safe deposit box, jewelry, anything and everything you can possibly own. So the state of Florida already says who is going to get your stuff. In order for your family to get that stuff, usually Florida law requires that you hire an attorney to take all of your stuff through the courts in order to get that court order that says, yes, A, B, and C get all this person's stuff. The issue with hiring an attorney and going to court, of course, is that you're looking at expenses, court expenses, attorney fees, and most importantly, delays. Some probates, some court cases about inheritance, we call it probate, they can be wrapped up within a couple of months, and some of them drag on for years. I have an estate right now that's been open for over 3 years because
Wow.
of IRS. And what are we going to do to hurry up the federal government? Nothing. So the family is sitting there waiting for the inheritance until this case is wrapped up.
Is your job getting ready to become more complicated with looks like some of these new tax laws that are going to be coming in and inheritance laws that are coming in?
So in order to be in that tax bracket where you actually have to worry about estate taxes, you have to have a lot of money. And
Okay.
my clients are regular people that have regular things. not over the $11 million threshold. Of course, with each incoming administration, that threshold changes and um, things could go south fast. But for the most part, my clients are regular people and they just need to pass their home along, their bank account, a car, investments, things that regular people have.
Well, what is the difference between a will and a trust?
Both of those documents are similar in that they say what's going to happen with your stuff when you die. The difference is that a will you have to bring to court. You have to likely hire an attorney, and the attorney will take that will through probate court. And you have to go through certain steps. There are certain delays, certain legal notices that have to be done. There are expenses associated with it. But eventually, if there's any money left over after paying creditors, the family will get the inheritance. The way that a trust is different, it's more expensive and it takes longer to set up. But the great benefit is that when a person passes, nothing has to go through court if it's a properly drafted trust. So the next person that's designated to take over handling things simply takes over and does whatever you wanted them to do with your property, distribute it in a way that you wanted.
Natalia, let me, you know, you don't really want to go into probate if you don't have to. It gets very expensive, or it can
I
get
want to go to
expensive.
probate because that's where I make most of my money.
Exactly. But, but is it true that a revocable living trust can keep you from going into probate?
Again, if it's properly drafted and actually funded, yes, it can. I think, and this,
Do
if
you
your
like them? Do you
listeners, if
like
any,
a living, revocable living trust?
I do, because it really can help keep the family out of the court and being, even though probate is not a terribly, if the family gets along, it's not a terribly difficult
Right.
proceeding, but that's not something any family wants to be a part of when they're grieving loss of their loved one. So do I like them? For the most part, yes, I do like them if they're properly written and if they're actually funded. And what I mean by funded is that a trust, all it is, it's a document that says what you want to see happen. If you don't transfer your property into the name of your trust while you're alive, then that trust remains just a piece of paper that owns nothing. So I don't like those trusts where the attorney that put the trust together didn't take the time to actually transfer property into the name of the trust so that we don't have to um, see that family in probate court later on.
I think I don't know if it's as big a deal to you as it is to me. I've been doing this for a long time. You basically just do estate planning.
I do estate planning. I do probate, which is the court
Yes,
when court gets involved in inheritance matters, and I also do guardianship when people get
exactly.
incapacitated.
But like you don't do family law or real estate law or personal injury.
No, I stick to the few things that I know, and it's worked for me well. I enjoy
I'm so
I
glad
enjoy
you do that.
focusing.
I really am because I think that it's better to have an attorney that they just stay in this one area because when it comes to estate planning, there is wills, there's probate, elder law, um, guardianship. But you see these attorneys that do personal injury and workers' comp and employment law. I would much rather have an attorney that is good in one area than someone who tries to do 8 different areas of law. That's just me. I want to throw that in. It's a pat on your back. Let's give everybody your phone number.
It's 561-877-1515.
And what is your website address?
If anyone can write that down, it's bevilaqualaw.com.
Okay. Well, it's a great website, and there's a lot of good information. I read the whole thing, and we're going to go to break. When we come back, we have more with attorney Natalia Belovaca. We'll be right back.
Bevilacqua law, thoughtfully and intentionally, limits its practice to interrelated areas of probate, estate planning, and guardianship. You've worked hard for what you have. You love your family. Do not leave your assets stuck in court. Do not leave your family dealing with delays and red tape. Benjamin Franklin said, "Failing to plan is planning to fail." Call Bevilacqua Law today to schedule a consultation to discuss your family, your goals, your concerns, and your wishes. They make this a painless process that will leave you knowing that you protected your family. Your family will feel secure and loved, and you can feel at ease, knowing you did the very best thing for them. Call today, 561-877-1515. Again, 561-877-1515.
We are back now with more of the Ask the Experts radio show, proudly sponsored by board-certified family law attorney Tina Lewert of Lewert Law LLC, covering South Florida.
We are back. We're here with the Ask the Expert show. We're with you every Thursday night from 6 to 7 drive time. And we are on, how many shows do you know that are on 3 different radio stations? We're on 1470 AM, 96.9 FM, and 95.3 FM. And we're on iHeartRadio. Tonight's show, we're here with attorney Natalia Belovaca. We're talking estate planning. And I want to get into guardianship because I know you like working in guardianship. So tell everybody what that entails.
So I don't like working in guardianship because it's
said.
always I do not like it. However, I do have a skill, and I do feel that I'm obligated to use it because it's a real need that families have. The reason I don't like it is because guardianship is a very it's a process in which the court is heavily involved. It's a very invasive process,
Yes.
and it's very emotionally difficult. So when someone calls me for guardianship, it's never a good story. And a lot of the times we do guardianship because mom or dad or aunt or uncle got old and they can no longer manage their affairs and they need to go into a facility, or they need help paying their bills, or their home needs to be sold and they can't do it. So somebody from the family has to step in and apply to the court to be a guardian of that person so that that person can be kept safe and their assets can be kept safe, and someone has to look out for them. Another type of guardianship that I do a lot of, unfortunately, is when a minor child has a parent that passes away, sometimes a grandparent, but usually a parent, that leaves them an inheritance. By Florida law, children do inherit from their parents. And then the surviving parent or another person have to step in and become the guardian of that child's property, because obviously a minor child cannot make any types of decisions or sign any documents. So that's a very common type of guardianship that I become involved in.
Wow, you just reminded me. Some people I'm very close with, their daughter was autistic. And I don't think people know that they say 1 out of 8 children are now born with autism. That's pretty high. And what she didn't know was when her daughter turned 18, she becomes a ward of the state unless you do something. And they have a lot of control. So you have got to pre-plan this. Get an attorney like yourself and prepare yourself, because it was really sad seeing what she went through because no one told her this.
I gotta correct you there. Once a developmentally disabled child turns 18, they don't necessarily automatically become the ward of the state, but they do, however, become a legal adult. And unless the court says that you are incapacitated, you are a legal adult. And I think what shocks a lot of parents who have been taking care of these children their whole entire life
Right?
is that all of a sudden you're not entitled to receive that child's medical, well, that adult's medical information. You're not entitled to make any decisions regarding their education. So schools and doctors may or may not talk to you. So that really shocks and upsets a lot of parents, because imagine taking care of your own child, knowing that your child will need care for the
Right.
rest of their life, worrying what's going to happen when you're no longer here. And now everyone's giving you a hard time about taking care of your own child. So, yes, that's another
You
situation
said it
where
much
you
better than I
would
did.
end up in
And
court.
she has to every year write down all the expenses and everything she's done for the whole year. It's a lot of work, but no one prepared her for this. And I'm just saying, with all, and it's not just for autistic children, but I'm saying, yes, she became an adult, but she could not take care of herself, make any decisions at all. So I think it's very important that parents call you that maybe have an autistic son or daughter, and you can prepare them.
So, if they're parents that have children with developmental disabilities, then they should contact a guardianship attorney approximately 6 months before their child turns 18. That allows sufficient time to put the guardianship in place so that it's a smooth transition for everyone involved. And again, guardianship is not a fun process. Being a
I
guardian
know.
is a job
I
that
understand why
almost
you
nobody
say that.
wants. And, yes, there's a lot of reporting requirements. Unfortunately, those reporting requirements come from many people that took advantage of, of people that are not able to take care of themselves. And that's why it's a very heavily supervised process, which of course hurts the people that are just trying to do the right thing. But unfortunately, that's what it's come down to because of all the people that have taken advantage of incapacitated persons.
So I've got a really tough question for you. Oh, she's not smiling at all. Like she's ready. There she goes. She's ready for it. This is a really tough question. I hope you can answer this. Why
I'll
should
try.
I hire your firm?
That is a tough question. No, just kidding. You should hire me
Made her
because
laugh.
I really care about what I do,
You
and
do.
I've been doing this for a little while now, and I know what I'm doing, and there's only a few things that I focus my practice on. And I think experience is a really important thing. And I think being focused um, on one thing is important. Just like you wouldn't go to a dentist to do your heart surgery.
Right.
If you're looking for, no matter what type of attorney you're looking for, you should find an attorney that does only what you're looking for.
You know,
And
she doesn't give
that's important.
herself any credit at all. You need a guardianship attorney. She's a guardianship attorney. Give everybody your phone number, Natalia.
It's 561-877-1515.
And you're open Monday through Friday?
Sometimes I feel like I'm open 24/7 because my phone rings at all sorts of hours, but yes, Monday through Friday.
Okay. Well, give her a call. She is our expert. She can't say that, but I can on our show. And we're so lucky to have her. Natalia, thank you so much. And we'll see you again next month.
I appreciate it. It's always
We
great
appreciate
to
you.
chat with you.
We're going to go to break, and we come back. We have attorney Tayson Gaines. We'll be right back.